Yo, what the deal? It's your boy X.E.L.O. Thank you for coming back to the page. Those who are new here to the page, definitely like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. That'll let y'all know when I drop another video. So right now I'm on my Cakewalk run. I'm trying to show cats how to actually use different things like Satila, the drum sequencer, how to actually use the matrix view for like the sampler. So I just want to try to do like a real tutorial of like some of the steps you can do to make your workflow faster. So let's get started with that. In 3, 2, 1. All right, so here we are in Cakewalk. This is an empty template, so there's nothing in here. Everything is kind of set at a default. So there's different ways to actually do different things in here. I usually like to set up my metronome to actually play when I'm actually doing like recording and stuff like that, or if I'm just playing it regular. This is the option right here that'll make it play during recording. So this metronome setting is kind of important. So if you want an actual record count in, so you know it gives that 1 bar or 2 bar, however many bars you need, this would be the place to actually go and get that done. So I usually like to put mine on 1, and then I'll apply. And then let's close that. So if you want to actually add anything like an instrument or anything like that, you have 2 choices to kind of do that. So over here, you have your media, which is like your stuff on your computer. So you can find stuff in here. This is your plugins. So you have audio effects. You have regular like MIDI effects that you can actually add on to MIDI things. And here's your instruments. So your virtual instruments can be set up different ways. So if you go to plugins, and you can sort by different things, by type, by category, by manufacturer. I just set mine as a manufacturer right now because I kind of know the names of the things that I have in here. When you're actually getting started with Cakewalk, the first thing I would actually say you should get is a sampler of some sort. I have a couple of them in here. I have the one small Q with the gray sampler. I have the native instruments. I use the Komplete Kontrol. Makes it a lot easier. I also have Contact. Some people don't have Contact. But the Komplete Kontrol player is actually free. The one small Q, the Grace sampler, that is also free. All right, and if you were actually part of like the older Cakewalk family, like the Sonar, they had like this Cyclone one. They had this drop zone where you can drop samples in there. Those are like before they were actually got bought out by Bandlab. But yeah, so you definitely need some kind of sampler. And the reason I say that is if you're doing like trap EDM kind of stuff, you're gonna need to be able to separate your like 808s and actually put them on, have them be able to change octaves. So that's why you want to actually have that on there. But enough of this talk. Let's set something up here. So I actually have Satila set up, which is a drum, like a drum program. If you're doing it from here, this add instrument track, you do have options for your outs. You have your record enabled, so if you put it in there, you just want to record from there, enable it. Or if you have your virtual controller. So when you hit on this advanced, you go down here, you have options to like create a folder, which I like to create a folder straight off the bat. So this is an easier way to just kind of do it. And then you can put instrument per track out, or you can do a split instrument track. The thing about the split instrument track is that you actually will get like a MIDI out with it. The instrument track is basically creating a brand new instrument track in your playlist. I guess I can show you. All right, so let's do an instrument per track. So it says that there's 16 tracks because this plugin has 16 outs on it. So it'll give you 16 tracks. So if I hit create, it's gonna make the folder, and then it's gonna actually put all the instances in a folder. So Satila is here, and all of them will be still linked to this same Satila because they're all in this folder. But they're all their own instruments, if that makes any sense. All right, so let's not do that one. And I'm going to delete the track folder. All right, so when I do them, I usually like to do the split instrument and put them out in all stereo. For some reason, it just is a little easier and better for me that way. So I have my Satila, I have my MIDI, so I have my own MIDI channel for it. I'll just grab that and drag it up. So if you want to actually make this into a template, you can do that easily. You can also have your Satila set up in here. You can just drag your instruments and stuff in here. I'm gonna actually just use my kit. I already have it set up. If you want to learn more about that, I should put a link up above in this video to actually show you Satila videos and how to actually move and get all your stuff in here. So that will be an easy way to kind of get everything set up. So what a lot of people don't know is that you can actually add your step sequencer from here, or if you hit this little, if you hold it down and hit this little arrow, it gives you an option for your piano roll or staff view or event list. So I usually use the step sequencer, so I'm going to leave it on the step sequencer, but I'm not going to use the step sequencer now. So I'm going to hide that by hitting D on the keyboard, and I'm going to close this. So you would first set up, you would want to definitely put like your kick, snare, hi-hat, tones, all that stuff in here. I'm not going to do that right now, but what I will do is show you that you can actually make like a drum bus for this, and then color it, and that way anytime you actually open it up, it'll go straight to that drum bus if you have one set up. So let's actually go to the console, which is like where the mixer stuff is. So you have several options to make another bus. So you can right click in here on this side where you actually have your bus and just insert a stereo bus, and then it'll make bus D. So you can name it here. You can do drum bus. So that way you can route all your drums to this bus if you need to. So an easy way to do that, I'm just gonna minimize this by hitting D. It's going to take away your dock. So you want to hit on your box here, and you want to actually move all of your instruments to that bus. So the easiest way to do it is to click on one that actually has an actual instrument on it. What you want to do is where the one that says master here, if you don't see this on yours, what you can do is go up to where it has custom, so you can hit all, and that'll actually show everything that this track actually can have in there if you want to do that. My custom is actually set to where it'll show the master, but let's just set them up as all, so it'll change all of them to this option where you have your volume, your pan, your gain, so you can see everything a little bit easier. So if you hit on master, right, and the important part right here is to actually hold down control. If you hold down control, it'll give you that option to change all of them at the same time. So I'm gonna hit on drum bus. Now all the tracks should be set to drum bus. And all I did was hit F just now to make everything kind of stretch out. You can see all of them. As you see, this one is on the drum bus, and I'm going to go up to this view right here. This view will give you an option to actually auto track zoom. So whatever track you're on, it'll actually make it bigger. So if I'm on this one, it'll expand it. Any one of them, it'll expand. As you see, all of them are on the drum bus. So now I can control all of them from the drum bus itself. So there's several ways you can do the drum bus. There's another way right here. If you go down to the bottom of this screen here, if you pull up on this, you'll see your master, metronome, and your drum bus that you just created. So there's several ways to actually get to it. Another way is if you actually clicked on, if you see that you're on any one of the drums, if you hit on this show hide pro channel, now you can see you're on your drum bus. The drum bus is here as well. So what's really cool about it is that you can actually color all of them at the same time. So if I hit on this, it's going to change every single thing inside of that that's linked to this drum bus. So whatever color I choose for it, it'll actually choose the color for all of them because they're linked to that drum bus. So I'll just put them as blue. I like my drums as blue. Don't know why, but I just do. All right. So now that you have that set up, and if you changed all your names to your stuff, I'm just gonna put a kick here. All right, I'm just trying to minimize all of them. So let's say that you liked the way your drum bus is actually set up. Like I said, you can name all of them and actually put them in Satila itself. And name them if you wanted to. So let's say you actually liked the way this is right now, and you just wanted to keep this as kind of like a template for your stuff. Knowing if you're gonna actually save your drum bus, you can actually click on here, any one of these under here, any track under there, and you can actually give you an option that says save track template. So you can save the track template as test 2. If you watch my Satila video, you'll see that I made that test kit 1. So this is the test kit 2, and you save that on here. So now if I actually close this, I'm going to delete the folder. I'm going to delete everything in there. And let's say I'm going to insert, so anywhere in here, if you right click, it'll give you these options to insert audio, MIDI, instrument. So I'm going to insert from track template, and I'm going to hit the test 2. And the test 2 is going to bring back my Satila and everything exactly how I had it. So that way you can have it still go into your drum bus and set up that way. So this is a quick template, quick way to set up your templates in Cakewalk. So and I know you see all this real estate that is taken up. If you just hit on this little minus, it'll close the folder and it'll always shrink it down to where you're able to actually see everything in here. All right. So you can actually do the same thing for instruments. Let's say like Komplete Kontrol, right? You can create a folder for it if you want to. You don't necessarily have to do it this way. You don't even have to pull up an instrument this way. You can actually go over to the right hand side where you have your instruments, and you want to go to native instruments, and you can click on Komplete Kontrol. So this is another way of actually setting everything up. So this gives you an option to create a track. So if you want like a simple instrument track, it's basically just going to create just the instrument track by itself. If you wanted to add the synth track folder, it gives you an option here. If you wanted to have a MIDI source, so it'll have like a MIDI output, you can put that there. So the first synth audio output will basically set it up to where just that first one will actually show up on your list here. But I'm just going to do a simple instrument track. I think that would be easier, because Komplete Kontrol will only let you do one. Contact, on the other hand, will let you do up to 16 outs. All right, so Komplete Kontrol is here. It actually made a folder, as you can see. It doesn't necessarily need a folder, but I just put it in one. All right, so Komplete Kontrol will give you access to like almost all your instruments that you have that are linked in your system. So if you have any of like the contact stuff, as you see, it'll pull up in here. So whatever you actually have inside of your from contact, and it does come with some free ones, but I usually just go to like the waves on the one shots, or you can actually pull from your own files. So if you have files on your computer and you know where your like your drum kits are, you can actually set them up in here and go and set those up. All right, so here is my drum kits, what I have inside here. So if you click on one,
auto rewind,
it'll actually play. That's one of my tags that I have set up in here. So I have like percussions, hi-hats, 808s, claps, and things like that. So all that stuff you can find inside Komplete Kontrol. The reason you want to use Komplete Kontrol is so that you can do like your hi-hat rolls and things like that. Alright, so now that I have a hi-hat in here, I can actually have it to where it'll do, I have it set on one shot. So if I wanted to, I could actually add this to a step sequencer, or I can do it to a piano roll. I think it's easier in the step sequencer to do things for stuff like this. So C3 would be the starting. So you almost want to start on like what is it, 60 is the number you would want to be here. I believe it's 60. Yes, C5. So 60. That would be your like starting grounds for your hi-hat if you wanted to actually use it in here. So then you would just fill every 2. And then what you can do is you can either bounce it to a clip, or you can actually go to tracks and then actually make it into a bounce to a track. So basically that'll bounce it and make it into a wave. Another way to do that would be to actually freeze the synth or the track. So basically this will make it into like a wave format as well. So if I freeze it, just to show you, it actually made hi-hats. So as you see, the waves of the hi-hats is in there. So if you unfreeze, it'll go back to the regular way it was. So you can also do like a bounce to clip. So if you right click on here and you do a bounce to clips, I set my bounce to clip to Control B. You can go into preferences and set your keys up to do that. So once you bounce it to clip, now it's actually gonna go to the piano roll now, and it will see it inside the piano roll. And now you can do like your copy and paste. So you can grab this and let's see, you can do a Control D, I believe. Yeah. So Control D will duplicate it over to the closest one. But if you have it marked to where it'll actually go the whole bar, it should duplicate to the next bar. So that's a kind of an easy way to actually do it. You can actually change your steps here, and you can hold down T, or if you hit T on your keyboard, it'll bring up your tools. So if you want to draw, you can just draw some notes in. So yeah, so it gives you that option and the freedom to actually bring it into the piano roll. But let's say that you wanted to actually keep all of them kind of the way they were. I'm just gonna delete those right now. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the tools and go back onto my smart tool. It's gonna highlight all of these. And what I did was I did a Control B to bounce it to clip. So now all the clip is one, as you can see up here now. It was separate, but now it's all together. All right, so let's say I wanted to save this as it is. So with my Satila, my Komplete Kontrol, my drum bus that I set up. So let's say we want to do that. So I'm gonna hit D on, no, let's leave this up. I'm gonna leave this exactly how it is, so you'll see this come up once we save it. So I'm gonna go up to File. I'm gonna go to Save As, and let's just call this template for YouTube 1. All right, so what we want to do is actually put it to where it'll actually start. So I want to go into all Cakewalk sample content and tutorials. You want to go to Cakewalk Core, and you want to go to Project Templates. So this is going to put it in the core section. So I have a couple of startups, as you see. So I'm going to go template for YouTube 1. I'm going to save it in here. And boom, now it's actually saved in here. So now if we close this, so I'm going to close it, and it's going to bring up my Cakewalk projects. And I'm going to go to New Project, and in here you should see template for YouTube. So when I click on that, it's going to pull up my template and everything exactly how I had it. So now you're ready to start your new track. So if you actually did it to where you put your, all your effects and plugins that you actually wanted, you set up your drums and instruments. Anytime you pull up that template, it'll pull it up exactly how you left it, and that's why I like Cakewalk. But yeah, man, this is a pretty extenuous tutorial. I think I'm gonna end it here. If you did enjoy, definitely leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'll let y'all know when I drop a new video. And once again, my name is X.E.L. Peace. See y'all next time.